I always saw things and toys that I'd like to be or play with, and I decided once costuming became a big thing, I decided to start making my own costumes. And as a kid, because you couldn't just get everything over the counter, and my size is a little different, so when I put stuff on, it never did fit. So I had decided, well, let me just learn how to make my own stuff. I got into engineering and into carpentry and home remodeling, and was always a builder. So when I got to the point where I wanted to retire, I decided to do something more fun for myself. So I started making stuff that I thought people would like. It just kind of just took off. It's like I don't know if I ever looked back now that I'm thinking about it.
So what I do is I find old shirts, usually at thrift stores. I'd rather reuse and recycle, or rather than buy new, because it saves money and it saves the trash pile. So this one is actually Wish You Were Here, has all the princesses from the Marios, and then this has more of the classic 1981 pixeled. And this one actually comes with a little clutch purse with it. So this is one of my flannels. Sometimes I do skulls, sometimes I do Marvel or DC or anime. But yet again, I do the same thing. I go to the thrift stores and I find the shirts and I find the flannels and I sew them on. I'd rather reuse and recycle than let it go to the trash bag.
Back into the 2020, and then during the quarantine time, I have a lot of time stay at home, and also that's the time of year that Animal Crossing started. So I play a lot of that game, and I also started making balloons, start making the patterns from the Animal Crossing, and do more and more and can't stop. So that's why I grow more and have more patterns, and then we're both into like video games and like some animation things a lot. So that's get me started based on my hobby and also quarantine. We work in a shop, so I'm a maker. We have a lot of ability to make things, and also my co-workers had joined me with the first con. We had a booth together, and then I said, okay, I'm gonna try. I think this will be a good content for Comic-Con. And also I started my Etsy shop 2020, 2020, and then I started selling on the Etsy shop too. And then I feel like Comic-Con is a good audience for me because a lot of my content will the people will like those a lot.
The first couple years was actually, my whole goal really was to just have a hobby that would pay for itself. To me, that was success. But eventually it kept snowballing. I kept getting other opportunities, and I had to make a decision whether to leave my day job or kind of do this full time. And in talking with a lot of people, I learned that you kind of regret what you don't do in life. And so decided in 2019 of all years to leave the comforts of a day job and pursue this full time. I'm working on a book of portraits of sort of the heroes that have passed away, and they don't have to necessarily be comic book heroes in that sort of a way. And this is how I remember Sean Connery, was through the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. So when he passed away, that movie was one that I grew up with. It was one of the few movies that we had, and I played that probably on repeat for a lot of times. It was before Netflix, when you can stream anything you want.
When I was younger, my grandparents got me some beads and made little coasters for them, which they still use today, and it's like 30 years ago. And about 10 years ago, I started doing video game characters and kind of took off from there. It was just fun and wanted to do it, and it kind of just grew into this, so it's been pretty fun. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is always a good one. Anything Contra, because it's my favorite game. Pretty much everything. It's just every piece is different and has their own character.